To become a seiyuu and have a big break in the voice acting industry in Japan requires one to join a talent agency. These companies manage their careers and help them get opportunities. However, if they are so good, why do seiyuu end up wanting to go freelance? What are talent agencies? What is their importance? And what can they do for seiyuu? Let's answer these questions and more in this episode. Let's kick off this episode of Seiyuu Lounge. Welcome to Seiyuu Lounge. I am your host Vanessa, and today's topic is Seiyuu Talent Agencies, what they are, importance, and more. This is a suggestion by Zen that on the 100th episode survey said, I would love an explanation of Seiyuu Talent Management Agencies, for example, 81 Produce, Awani, Black Sheep, and etc. So in this episode, let's cover everything there is, well, not extensively, about Seiyuu Talent Agencies, and in the next episode, let's check some of the most interesting talent agencies out there. What are Seiyuu Talent Agencies? Talent agencies are companies that excel in managing the careers of talents. These talents can be seiyuu, entertainers, musicians, or actors. Talent agencies are tightly connected to seiyuu as they not only protect the seiyuu from the media and weird fans, but they also add some weight to their name when attending auditions. Check your favorite anime or 2D music project. For sure, you will have seiyuu represented by Awani and 81 Produce. Having those agencies as the representatives of seiyuu carries a lot of weight and can, at times, open doors to join top 2D music projects and anime series. Are there other types of agencies for seiyuu? There are. While it is always good to join a talent agency that excels in managing voice actors, there are other talent agencies that can manage seiyuu, although they are not well known for it. Seiyuu will want, depending on their skill set and dreams, to join a talent agency that puts equal focus on finding opportunities for both dubbing and theater. Others may want a talent agency that has a complete overview of the entertainment industry, with a focus on acting in various mediums, and it may even include stepping into the music industry. And there are some that want to focus on narration and dubbing. There are talent agencies focused a little bit on everything, making it slightly easier for the seiyuu represented by those to pivot to different sides of the voice acting industry and even within the entertainment industry. How are seiyuu chosen for talent agencies? This is where things get interesting or complicated depending on the talent agency seiyuu are trying to get into. The easiest way to join a talent agency is to pass its audition to join their seiyuu school. At least when seiyuu are beginning their careers, they will have to join a seiyuu school tied to a talent agency. All major talent agencies that exclusively manage seiyuu will have a training school for their talents. The seiyuu joining those schools will then have to undertake classes on voice acting that now involve more than just that. It's also dancing, live acting, and singing. There is a final audition that will dictate which seiyuu will be joining the official ranks of the talent agency. Those that fail can continue to attend the school and attempt to pass the final audition again, or they can leave and try to join different agencies. The final chosen members are officially represented by that talent agency, starting activities in the voice acting industry according to their profile and skills. However, there are talent agencies like Sigma 7 that have a different format. Seiyuu that pass the final audition at their school are not considered full-time talents represented by Sigma 7. They have to wait 3 years, basically the time that those Seiyuu are considered F-rank Seiyuu, and then attempt to become a full-time talent through yet another audition. Those that pass it will eventually become talents signed to Sigma 7 instead of just affiliated to Sigma 7. Seiyuu that have undergone this process include Hiroki Yasumoto, Hiroyuki Yoshino, and Shoya Chiba. Seiyuu that sign to talent agencies that aren't exclusively managing Seiyuu will see these being different, as, at times, there is no audition to pass in order to join in. While this is a good thing for those wanting to become Seiyuu, it also signals that those talent agencies accept almost everyone, focusing on having talents signed to them instead of developing them. What do Seiyuu Talent Agencies do? They represent their talents, provide them opportunities, manager, and clout to kickstart their career. But that's the extent of what talent agencies do. Everything else is the Seiyuu and their manager on their own. How do they help Seiyuu? How important are they? First of all, Seiyuu Talent Agencies give clout to Seiyuu. As simple as that. You know that Seiyuu from Awani are awesome in narration and games. You know that 81 Produce is in the business of nurturing creative individuals that are insanely good singers. And I'm Enterprise is where some of the hottest talents are from. You know that Seiyuu from those agencies are good. No questions about that. After clout, there are the opportunities. Seiyuu Talent Agencies have connections a bit all over the anime, music and movie industries and can find awesome opportunities for Seiyuu to showcase their talents in. The projects can range from variety appearances to singing gigs, radio show hosting, dubbing and more. There are several talent agencies that have close ties to publishers and anime production companies, making sure that those projects always have one talent from their agencies. A good example of that is 81 Produce, that is partly owned by Kadokawa. Hence, you'll see plenty of their talents joining anime series or even narration gigs for contents produced and distributed by Kadokawa. Seiyuu Talent Agencies have a better pool of available jobs for their talents. With deep connections to a lot of big players in the entertainment industry, talent agencies have at their disposal some of the best roles and audition opportunities up for grabs. Of course, for a Seiyuu to be recommended or requested for a role is only something that happens a bit later in their career. In that case, talent agencies tend to get requests from anime or 2D music project producers and present those opportunities for their talents to choose whether they want those or not. For Seiyuu starting off their careers, being represented by a talent agency provides a big opportunity to join auditions to some of the biggest projects being produced in Japan, and perhaps they do well in those auditions and can have their big break. Talent agencies provide managers to their talents. Although this is something that doesn't come for free, basically Seiyuu have to pay for their managers with the money they earn. Talent agencies provide them with a manager to help organize their schedule, only having to worry about being on top of their game for each recording. Managers provide a breather for Seiyuu whose careers are hectic, as well as help young Seiyuu stay on track and not be overwhelmed by all the complicated stuff in the voice acting industry. Seiyuu Talent Agencies protect those seiyuu in case legal issues arise. This has been a big topic as of late. Seiyuu are more than ever being found in the middle of scandals. Well, tabloids have found that people want to know more about seiyuu, and those people are willing to pay for that information. Tabloids love that, hence they started focusing on seiyuu and their private lives. It doesn't help that some seiyuu were leading lives with weird things happening that they believed no one would find. So yeah, this has been happening. At the same time, and scandals aside, there may be some times in which someone writes something damaging or untrue about a seiyuu, and talent agencies have to step in with their legal teams to stop rumors from arising or scandals from happening. Of course, talent agencies will not help in all cases. Scandals that are related to the seiyuu's private lives have nothing to do with the talent agency they are signed to, and as such, their legal teams won't defend their talents in those cases. So, how important are talent agencies? Talent agencies are massively important towards guiding seiyuu in a supposedly right route, as well as making sure that they are on top of their game. They open the doors to opportunities that seiyuu would never get early on in their careers, and can even help them branch out to other sides of the entertainment industry should they want to. Without a talent agency, especially in the first 10 years of career, seiyuu will see their chances at making a big break being slim. Really slim or near impossible. What do they take away from seiyuu? Now, as you may have noticed, talent agencies open the doors for seiyuu to go to auditions, try to get into 2D music projects, or even pivot their careers. But they do not give them work. Seiyuu have to find it. They have to fight for it. Yep, the opportunities are open to everyone at their talent agency, and most of the times to all other big talent agencies in Japan. The talent agency can only provide a place for the seiyuu in that audition. It is up to the seiyuu to decide if they want to participate in that audition, and then it is up to their talents if they get the roles they want or not. So a talent agency only provides opportunities, not real jobs. At the same time, a big part of the money a seiyuu makes when represented by a talent agency has to go to pay the agency for their services, which is to say by having their name attached to the seiyuu, to basically providing them a manager or even a legal team. For example, if a seiyuu barely makes any money, and if they have the luck or unluck of having a manager, they have to take a bit of care of their finances because they will start to pile up debt. Talent agencies do not pay a fixed monthly salary to a seiyuu. Seiyuu are independent contractors that are only represented by talent agencies. Think of the talent agency as a broker. They get a fee per job the seiyuu manages to complete. The seiyuu salary is that of the money they make in any given month. There are months in which seiyuu don't get any money and others in which they get a lot. That's why they have to be strategic about the projects they take during the year. Also, some talent agencies prohibit seiyuu from doing certain things. Seiyuu signed to Himawari Gekidan can't do BL work or anything mature. They can be in the supporting cast of BL work, but never in the main role, and they can't even be in any mature work. Talents at 81 Produce can't appear shirtless on whatever they do, and there are even some seiyuu forbidden from trimming their hair due to their contracts or have to change the looks to fit a softer image because the agency wants it. There are even talent agencies that forbid seiyuu from dating, so on and so forth. If a seiyuu wants freedom, that is not found in a talent agency. Seiyuu have to chase after the jobs they want, they have to make connections in the industry, befriending producers, other seiyuu, radio hosts, musicians, between a ton of other people. Their manager may help out organizing those things, but it is ultimately up to a seiyuu how connected they want to be in the industry, thus opening work opportunities for themselves in the near future. The talent agency doesn't help with a thing when it comes to making sure seiyuu remain popular and with a consistent stream of work. Why do some seiyuu decide to go freelance or set up their own agency? Going freelance is a big risk for seiyuu, so it is only a viable option when they are already quite popular and respected in the voice acting industry. Few are the seiyuu that, after going freelance, continue to have a consistent stream of work. In a way, going freelance often ends up with the seiyuu slowly fading away from the public eye. Of course, there are exceptions such as Daisuke Ono and Yuki Ono. Still, going freelance has its perks that make it appealing for seiyuu to actually think about it. For starters, they can name their price. Forget about the talent agency saying how much the presence, voice, or performance of a seiyuu costs. The freelance seiyuu can dictate their prices, getting usually a better pay this way. Also, the money they earn is theirs. When seiyuu are signed to a talent agency, they have to pay fees for the agency's services and pay a percentage of the earnings of every single job they make. As a freelance, the money seiyuu earn is theirs entirely. They only have to pay the obligatory taxes a contracted individual usually pays, and pay anyone they have working alongside them, which is to say a manager, a stylist, or a makeup artist, for example. Also, being a freelance seiyuu comes with freedom to do the jobs they want. Yes, this is a big plus, especially for seiyuu that do not want to be tied to an image that the talent agency wants to fabricate for them. Freelance is also perfect to do the jobs talent agencies do not want to have associated with them. Whether it is mature work, BL, appearing half naked on a photo book, basically freelance seiyuu have the freedom to do whatever they want, of course, while being aware that certain jobs or decisions carry weight and may end up pushing away some fans, for example. Focus on the work they love. Most freelance seiyuu end up focusing on narration, one of the best paying jobs a seiyuu can currently do. Most drift away from anime series, stopping appearing as regulars in productions, and instead having guest roles or minor or even supporting roles. Freelance seiyuu also embrace their solo careers if they are artists, do more radio work and appear on TV for variety shows or narration, with a lot more frequency. Some even decide to turn into live actors. Basically, wherever they fancy, they can do it as long as they have contacts in the industry. Also, nurturing talents in the industry, they can outdo it in the way they want. This is essential for seiyuu whether they are signed to talent agencies or freelance. There are many opportunities in games, anime, and narration that only present themselves in a private way, with seiyuu ending up recommended by the directors or producers. As such, seiyuu can't stop making connections in the seiyuu, music, and games industries at the same time that they should continue to nurture the relationships they already have with important figures in the industry. Freelance seiyuu have to focus more on nurturing than making new connections. Being a social butterfly or a business individual is almost like a hidden side job for seiyuu that wants to remain relevant as freelance and get the best opportunities when they are signed to talent agencies. Worth mentioning that not all freelance seiyuu end up having a good freelance career. Without as many contacts in the industry in comparison with talent agencies, with more talents gaining priority over them because they have big talent agencies behind, it gets increasingly difficult for freelance seiyuu to actually stand out. This is a big reason why most seiyuu that go freelance already have a decade or more of activity in the seiyuu industry, with most of them being in the middle or late 30s. Going freelance early on in their career is almost like career suicide. Another option when going freelance is to establish their own talent agency. If seiyuu just want to change bosses and be their own boss, managing their career and the careers of others, seiyuu may establish their talent agency. The talent agencies they establish can be one-man agencies, which is to say, the agency was only created to manage their activities. This is, from a fiscal perspective, quite the good idea, especially if that seiyuu earns a lot of money. They can also set up their talent agency and represent other talents, in a way even train new talents. This is no different from a regular talent agency, however, for an agency like this one to be set up, the seiyuu must have lots of contacts in the entertainment industry, otherwise their talents will never stand out when matched with talents from the biggest talent agencies in Japan that clearly have more influence and sway in the casting for everything you can imagine. Sho Hayami, Tetsuya Kakihara, Kenichi Suzumura, Shinosuke Tachibana, and Jun Fukuyama all did these, and their talent agencies have awesome reputation. As you can see, seiyuu talent agencies are essential early on in the careers of seiyuu. However, there is a point in a seiyuu's career in which going freelance is quite the awesome opportunity, and some may say, a natural transition for seiyuu that are getting older and have a lot of popularity and quite a lot of connections. Talent agencies can both open the doors and limit seiyuu in what they can or not do. Talent agencies do not give jobs to seiyuu, they only post auditions and make those available to everyone signed at their agency to have a go at it. Talent agencies do not pay monthly to seiyuu. Seiyuu make their own salary. A decade ago, few were the seiyuu that dared to leave a talent agency and try their luck at becoming freelance. The industry actively avoided them, perhaps under the influence of big talent agencies. But that no longer happens, and as such, more seiyuu have a go at being freelance. Will this be something even more common in the future? I believe so. Seiyuu now are the most versatile entertainers out there. It is only expected that seiyuu sign with talent agencies early on in their career, but can, at the same time, leave those agencies, go freelance as a voice actor, sign to a music label for their activities as singers, and sign to an actor's agency for their live acting gigs, all at the same time. So the possibilities are endless for seiyuu going forward. Now tell me, do you see talent agencies being as important in the next couple of years as they are right now? Let me know in the comments on YouTube, and remember, leave your comments as complex or as simple as they may be, and you can be featured on upcoming episodes of SEIYUU Lounge. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss the THTFHQ's weekly email Seiyuu and music-related content. I'll return next week with another episode of Seiyuu Lounge. Thank you for listening and see you guys around.